What is up, nerds? I hope you all have had a fantastic week. Welcome back to another episode of Nerd TV. Happy Friday. As you know, I always like to do a little pampering on Fridays, and this week I am using the Collagen Hydrogel Gold Mask. It is a skin tightening, elasticity intensive hydrating gold gel mask loaded with collagen and gold to help hydrate and revitalize dull fatigued skin while detoxifying the impurities of the skin to give an overall glow and life to the skin. I will not lie to you, I totally got it simply because it's gold. And it wasn't the exact color of gold that I was thinking it was going to be, but close enough. It is a mask. Masks are a little more irritating to try and talk in, but I did make an adjustment and I just cut the mouthpiece off, so hopefully that'll keep it from getting in my way. I will say, this is the most cool feeling one I've done. Like, it feels really good on the skin. Okay, I'm gonna start with what I've been watching on Netflix. So I am working my way through You season 2. After the first episode, Chris immediately lost interest because he felt like it was going to be an exact replica of season 1, and there are a ton of similarities. I mean, yes, he's fixated on another girl, and then, you know, he's got his landlady's daughter he's trying to help and protect, which is always confusing because he's a serial killer, but yet he's trying to do the right thing and protect, you know, an at-risk teenager. Robin Lord Taylor is in it, who played Penguin on Gotham. He's got a role in it. He looks so old though. He just looks like a skeeve. And then I think another reason why I think I'm confused about this one is the actress Victoria Pedretti, or however you say her name. She was Nell, I think her name was Nell in The Haunting of Hill House, or AKA the bent neck lady. I swear I cannot get away from the bent neck lady. Like, so it's just extremely disturbing to see her. I mean, she's a great actress. She plays the love interest, who her name also happens to be Love. She does great, but it's just like, I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to forget that role of hers. Like, that show freaking got me. And I saw on Twitter where they just wrapped up The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is supposed to be like season 2 of the series, and it's supposed to be even scarier. And I wish I could do the right thing and not watch it, but y'all know I'm gonna watch it. I'm so conflicted about this show. Like, sometimes it interests me where a certain part of the plot is gonna go, and then all of a sudden it'll get kind of cheesy, and then it's kind of repetitious. So I really hope they don't continue it after season 2, but I do believe I saw somewhere it was renewed for season 3. I just don't see what's left to do here. It just feels like the same thing as the first season. I mean, I'm not done yet, so there's still, I think I still have like 3 or 4 episodes left to go that craziness can ensue, and you know, there is a new aspect of the story that we have to deal with. You do get some insight into Joe's backstory, like as a child, the kind of the living situation he was in. I just don't always feel that your living situation or things that happen to you as a child are one, it's almost like that's their excuse for why he's a serial killer, and that's just not always the case. I'm just kind of tired of shows showing a troubled childhood as kind of the excuse as to this is why he does the things he does. I'm sorry, but to me, there's just something chemically wrong with a person's genetic makeup that makes them a serial killer. I mean, I had a crap childhood. Like, I would never in a million years want to relive my childhood, period. But I mean, I'm not going around killing people. I'm not bullying people. I mean, it's not affected me for the rest of my life. Hell, I don't even think about it unless I want to. I mean, it's just, I just don't like that. I just think that's kind of a pile of steaming horse manure. So Lock and Key, I finished it and I totally take back everything I said. Okay, so it did take me 5 episodes to get into it, which is a lot. I mean, it's basically half the season before I really got into it. So I bet I would really enjoy the comics. I think what I'm going to do is try to find those and get invested. There is going to be a season 2 of Lock and Key. I'm totally going to watch it. It took a minute for, I guess, because I just saw the beginning of the show and how it's, oh, a family, somebody has a death in the family, and all of a sudden they get this big mansion in the middle of nowhere and stuff starts happening, yada, yada, yada. It is a tired out story. And I think I just kind of went ahead and wrote it off, but there was something about it that kept me interested. And so all of a sudden I kind of started getting interested, not really in the stuff happening in the house, but in each of the 3 kids' stories. And so I kind of hung in there for that, and I'm glad I did. But there was a lot of questions about that there are a lot of questions I had that didn't get answered in the show that might get answered in the comics, like how did the house come into existence? Who made the keys? How did all this come about? None of that got outlined in the show. I would love to know that kind of thing. So it might, maybe in season 2 it get explored, but then again it might not. So I think I'll just be safe and read the comics. So my last episode, or the one before, I talked about watching the new Dracula series on Netflix. Yeah, I tried to watch the 2nd episode. I got half an hour in, and once again I was literally bored out of my mind. And the first one, it was about the last 20 minutes that it got good for me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and waste another hour and 10 minutes just to have 20 minutes of good at the end. I just flat going to write it off as a DNF. I don't like it. It's boring. All the other Draculas before were much better. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and say Dracula 2000 was probably my favorite. So yeah, I'm not going to continue it. So Chris and I finally got around to watching Frozen 2. This movie should have never been made. The magic of Frozen is evidently going to be in the first movie. It was never meant to have a second one. They just kind of threw something together. I mean, the story is completely just phoned in. It was boring. It made no sense. It was not a good continuation. The only saving grace for the movie was Olaf and the little fire lizard. If you'd have just shown me an hour and a half of the fire lizard running around and jumping off stuff with all 4 legs out like that, I would have been way happier. The music did not even closely compare with the first movie. I'm just sad to say I felt like it was a complete waste of time. Like, there are so many other much more better Disney movies we could watch. So let's see, for TV, I'm still watching Ink Master. I'm really pissed off at Dave Navarro because they have the potential to each save 1 person from elimination. And Dave freaking saved Jason Elliott livid. So I am not happy with them right now. And we finally started watching the newest season of Magicians. So we watched the first one. I promptly went to sleep 15 minutes in. We watched the second one. I promptly went to sleep. I just find the show boring. They really lost me last season, but I was just going to try and see it through. This show started off so strong. I loved it. But it just kind of lost its magic for me, if you will. I mean, I'll still kind of half watch it with Chris. I feel like he's still interested, so when he watches it, I'll watch it, but I'll probably have a book in my lap to, AGT Champions is over. The Unbeatable won. I think they are a phenomenal dance group. Like I said, they are the most in-sync dance group I have ever seen, but I felt like Marcelito, Pomeroy, or Duo Transcend should have won. But they do this whole thing with the champion show that they have the super fans vote, but you don't know who the super fans are. So it's like, are there really super fans, or is it just like TV executives doing this crap? Whatever. The only other bit of interesting news that I have found in the last week is Netflix is rumored to have offered Mark Hamill the role of Vesemir for season 2 of The Witcher, which would be amazing. I saw where a fan kind of did the thing where they superimposed Mark Hamill's face on Vesemir's body, and it just looked incredible. But Mark Hamill had actually expressed interest in playing the role, and so Netflix offered it to him, but we don't have anything set in stone. Like, there hasn't been any articles saying that he accepted the part or what's going on. I'm sure Mark Hamill is a very, very top tier actor to have for a show, but gosh, man, I would love for that to happen. And that's about it for all the TV watching I've done in the last week. I kind of I've been more into reading this week than watching TV because I've just been reading some really interesting books lately. So be looking for some book reviews coming up in the next week or so. I post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I would love for you to subscribe, like, drop me a comment below. Tell me what you're watching. I've got some shows on my radar that a couple of friends recommended to me, so I'm going to try to get to watching those so I can put up my review for that. And that's a wrap, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday, a fantastic weekend, and I will see you next week.